At sundown in Babylon, soldiers lowered an 80-year-old man into a den of lions. The king himself sealed the stone with his own ring. Then he leaned close and whispered, "May your God rescue you." The most powerful man on earth, praying his own execution would fail. Rewind 1 year. Babylon, the greatest city on earth, had fallen to the Medes and Persians overnight. The new ruler, Darius the Mede, inherited an empire too big to trust. So he appointed 120 governors to run it, and over them 3 administrators to watch the governors. One of the 3 was a Hebrew exile named Daniel, dragged from Jerusalem as a boy. A servant of Babylon's kings for almost 70 years, now past 80. This was the man who interpreted Nebuchadnezzar's dreams and read the writing on the wall the very night Babylon fell. Kings died, empires changed hands. Daniel remained, and Daniel so outshone every official in the empire that Darius planned to set him over the whole kingdom. An exile, a foreigner, a man who prayed to a defeated nation's god. The governors saw the promotion coming, and they decided the old man had to fall. So they went hunting for a scandal. They audited his accounts. They watched his doors. They questioned his servants. And they found nothing. No bribe, no error, no lie. After 70 years in power, the man was clean. So they reached a conclusion that should stop you cold. We will never find a charge against this Daniel unless it concerns the law of his God. His faith was the one thing he would not hide, and the one thing they could criminalize. All they needed was a law against prayer, and a king vain enough to sign it. They crowded the throne room with a lie. All the administrators agree, O king, all of them. Daniel had never been asked. Then came the proposal, wrapped in flattery. For 30 days, let no one pray to any god or man except you, O king. Whoever disobeys goes to the lions. To a new king holding a conquered empire, it sounded like loyalty. Understand what they chose. Babylon executed with fire. But to the Persians, fire was sacred, not to be defiled. So Persia used lions, a pit of them kept beneath the citadel. Darius signed it. And under the law of the Medes and Persians, a signed decree could never be revoked, not even by the king who signed it. Remember that. By morning, heralds were reading the decree in every square in Babylon. And every eye in the palace watched for one thing only. What would the old man do? Understand, he had options. Pray silently, pray behind shutters, pause for 30 days. He was 80. No one survives a den of lions. No one would have blamed him. Daniel went home. He climbed to his upper room, and he opened the window that faced Jerusalem, wide, in full view of the street. 3 times a day he knelt and prayed and gave thanks to his God, exactly as he had done before. The whole story hangs on those 5 words, as he had done before. In the street below, the men who wrote the law stood watching the window. They did not catch Daniel breaking a habit. They caught him keeping one. They went straight to the palace. "O king, did you not sign a decree?" Then they sprang it. "Daniel pays no attention to you. 3 times a day he prays to his God." And Darius saw it in an instant. The law was never about loyalty. It was a spear aimed at one old man, and the king's own vanity had thrown it. All day the king fought his own decree. He summoned counselors, he hunted for a loophole. Until sundown he labored to rescue Daniel, and his empire gave him nothing. At sunset the conspirators returned with the law in their hands. No decree of the king may be changed. The master of 120 provinces could not save one friend. So the order was given, and the only calm face in Babylon that evening belonged to the man being led to the lions. At the mouth of the den, the king leaned close to his prisoner. "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Then they lowered him into the dark. A stone was laid over the mouth and sealed twice. Once with the king's ring, once with the rings of the men who built the trap. One seal hoped, the other gloated. That night the palace went silent. Darius refused his food. He sent away the musicians, and sleep fled from him. The king of the world lay awake, counting the hours. Somewhere below the city, behind a sealed stone, was the man he had thrown away. And no power on earth could tell the king what was happening in that dark. Hold that picture. A king in a palace who cannot close his eyes. An old man in a pit of lions, from whom the night records no sound at all. At first light, the king ran. Through corridors, through gates, robes flying, guards scrambling behind. Kings do not run. This one did. At the stone he cried out, in a voice raw from the night. "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" Silence, long enough to bury hope. Then, from under the earth, a steady voice. "O King, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." So Daniel was lifted out into the sunrise, and when they examined him, they found not one wound on him, because he had trusted in his God. As for the men who dug this trap, Persian justice sent them into it at dawn. The pit they had built for the innocent closed over the guilty. Then Darius wrote to every nation on earth, "I decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, people are to tremble before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God. He rescues and he saves." Notice what just happened. A pagan emperor preaching to the whole world. The empire tried to silence one man's prayers. Instead, it published his God to every nation under heaven. Here is the part we miss. The miracle took one night. The window took a lifetime. Daniel could stand alone at 80 because he had knelt daily since he was a boy. And notice, Daniel received no promise. He opened that window with no guarantee except God himself. The faithfulness came first. The angel came after. Now see the shape of a greater story. Centuries later, another innocent man was sealed behind a stone under a royal seal with guards set to watch. And at dawn, that stone did not hold either. Daniel's sunrise was a preview. If this story strengthened your faith, subscribe and share it with someone who is standing alone right now. And tell me in the comments, what is the window you refuse to close?